Why does the lower back hurt during breath work? Well, hi friends, Oli here, and today we're diving into an important question. Why does my lower back hurt during breath work, and especially on the inhale? So it happens to a lot of my clients. You're not alone if that happened to you. This is very normal. You might feel like you're doing everything right. You got the message correctly, but proper breathing is the foundation for building a healthy and beautiful body. This is totally true, but instead your lower back hurts. It's really frustrating, right? And this is why I decided to do this short video so I can explain what happens. For years, the fitness has promoted a very simplistic approach. So I just called it out: push, pull, squat, burpees, planks, workout, gym. So repetitive strain on our body and combined with very fragmented training. Something like you go to the gym and you focus on your lower body, and some of the workouts, it's like upper body workout, lower body workout, ab workout. This type of training has led to chronically tight muscles, and especially the deep paraspinal muscles along the spine, our lats, latissimus dorsi and quadratus lumborum. Our lats, it's the broadest muscle in our back, and QL muscles, also our spinal muscles, or back muscle right over here. If you feel like, that arch, this is, if you touch yourself along the spine, this is where QL muscles are. So often when we put too much strain in those muscles, they start being stiffer and almost like kind of stick together. If you're not one of those who combines your workout with a lot of stretching and maybe some heat, like sauna, those muscles are really, really tight. So just have that vision in your head. Your back muscles are tight. It also doesn't just happen because you are working out and lifting some weights. It also could happen many different factors, some injuries and your posture, sedentary lifestyle. So there's a lot of tension in certain groups of muscles in the back. So another problem is that a lot of people start doing breath work, not considering that breath work is a very broad term, just like sports. So when you say I do sport, it can be something from running, doing triathlon, climbing the mountains, or you are playing chess. So breath work is the very broad term that also can be something like I'm laying on the mat and meditating and breathing, or it can be something very, very dynamic, impactful, and athletes train breath work for endurance. Holotropic breath, you might have heard about that. Wim Hof breathing. There's so many different breathing techniques that they will have different impact on your body. And if you look up something on YouTube without really knowing and understanding how breath work, how breathing functions, you might actually get into something that doesn't work for you. Something what your body is just not ready for. It's not bad, it's just your body is not prepped for it. If you don't know how to ride a bicycle, you're probably not going to compete in triathlon, right? So same concept applies. Why the pain during inhalation? So when we breathe incorrectly, our diaphragm, the main breathing muscle, doesn't work efficiently. Talk about it a lot, kind of obvious. We don't do it right, doesn't work efficiently. So diaphragm is a large dome-shaped muscle that completely separate our thoracic cavity. So think about heart and lungs at the top from the abdominal cavity. Just think about this whole area. It's attached to the sternum, the lower 6 ribs, and the top 2, 3 are lumbar vertebrae. So here and here, lower back. So the diaphragm is one of the 4 deep stabilizers of the spine, along obviously with our pelvic floor, transversus abdominis, abdominal muscles, deep abdominal muscles, and our back extensors. So back, front, pelvic floor, diaphragm, right? Kind of like a can. Sometimes That's analogy, you might hear that. The contraction of the diaphragm causes pressure. The pressure changes in both cavities, here and here, right? So the diaphragm goes down. When it contracts, it moves down into the abdominal cavity, pushes everything down, so creates increased intra-abdominal pressure, which is countered by the resistance of the pelvic floor muscles at the top, right? Kind of like imagine the can, top and the bottom. So our abdominal muscles in the front and our back muscles, stabilizers, work together with diaphragm and pelvic floor. And without proper diaphragm contraction, the increased intra-abdominal muscles will not reach all the way down to the lumbar spine. Think about lower back, pelvic, where the loading is the most prominent. And the effort shifts to the back muscles, causing that strain in the lumbar region, the strain in the lower back. You can actually test yourself if you're breathing correctly, if this is something what happens to you, if you're putting the load on the wrong muscles, if you lay on the floor and bring your knees to the chest and then start breathing and see what happens if your chest kind of expands here and you feel that you're pulling the muscles in the lower belly, that you're putting more pressure on the wrong muscles. So if I breathe, I don't actually feel any pressure, any pulling in my lower back. I don't really feel much pulling in the chest, but a lot of people do. Just like that, you bring the knees closer, put your head down, and do a couple of inhalations, exhalations through your nose, and just feel where that pressure is happening. And since we're talking about tension in the lower back, there's another good question that I get asked a lot. Can problems in the lower back cause stomach issues? The issues in the lower spine and sacrum can lead to symptoms like constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, bladder malfunction. And this occurs because the lower spine includes sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves, and they connect directly to digestive tract. So interference directly affects those processes. So obviously, yes, if there is tension, there is stagnation, if there is stiffness, there will be pain, and unfortunately it does affect all other organs in our bodies, such as digestive tract, our stomach. That's why I always say you start breathing properly, start relearning how to breathe. You might experience weight loss and you improve your digestion. But we started on breathing and lower back pain. I'm just kind of jumping on some of the subjects because they come up a lot in the conversation. So hopefully this is something what explains, and maybe you can relate to this and start adjusting your breathing to improve your GI tract. Here's the main question: how to actually relieve lower back pain during breath work, because breath work is still a foundation for health, and this is really where I want people to start if they're working on the posture, endurance, trying to boost the immune system. I do start people with breath work before we start in any kind of physical training and exercise. We need to do both, but how to relieve back pain? Well, first of all, you need to start easy, and some of the exercises, like I said, you can just jump into advanced training. You have to start easy and maybe somewhat boring. You have to breathe into your back to relax those muscles, and some of those exercises, for example, if you lay just like that, bring your arms forward, put your head on the floor, and start breathing into the back part of your body. You can even put your hands here to observe the movement. You will feel the movement and expansion in your back, and this might be all what you start with. This might be the very first one, and you might have to do it a few times a day during the first couple of weeks. Or you do cat and cow. So my yogi friends, my Pilates friends are familiar with this one. So tabletop position, you inhale, you stretch. On the exhale, you arch your back, you bring your belly towards your spine. You stretch here, you push all the air out, you exhale before you go back and inhale, and you do it multiple times. You can also bring your band around your back, just like this, and add some resistance. The band really helps to understand and feel the movement even more. It's also really important to do some exercises for increased mobility of our diaphragm, some of the bridge poses, some of the side bends. If you want, you can jump into my Wednesday classes. So I teach every Wednesday. It's free online class, and this is where a lot of beginners start. It's good for everybody, any level. So we start easy, we start with basics, we stretch, we move, we breathe, and we're not jumping into very advanced training. Like I said, we're starting with the basic and go step by step. We work with posture, we work with pelvic floor muscles. Like we already established that our breathing, our diaphragm movement depends on the good mobility and flexibility of this muscle. And if it's really rigid, if we rely on our back muscles, the diaphragm as a muscle itself is not moving properly. It's not creating the proper pressure in abdominal area. By the way, protruding belly is also some of the reasons of improper breathing and bad posture. You know, that curvature in your back. So where is it gonna go? This muscle becomes weak. We're overworking our back muscle, and our diaphragm, if it's not moving properly, it's not helping the whole core stability. There'd be a lot of scientific explanation here, but what do? We start with basic exercises. We're breathing into our back. We increase diaphragm mobility. We make sure that our rib cage, intercostal muscles are stretching, they're flexible, and there are a lot of body twisting exercises are good for this type of work. So targeted exercises for different parts of the body, working with pelvic floor, working with the diaphragm, starting easy with the breath work. And this is where you need to start. This is your beginning. So friends, breathing properly doesn't just eliminate back pain or lower back pain. It transforms your entire body's functionality, flexibility, mobility. So you start simple, take it slow, enjoy the journey to better breathing. You listen to your body, you learn how to listen to your body. So I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's breathe together. And see you next time. And if you want to join my Wednesday classes, definitely subscribe so you get notifications. It's free, it's beginner friendly, it's good for any age, it's good for seniors, because I start with very basics and I give modifications, so it should be easy for everybody. And I'll see you on Wednesday. It was Olia, your breath and movement coach. Breathe, smile, be happy, and live your life to the full potential.